We got more MLS news. This is not coming from HQ, but coming from the LA Galaxy. That's right, the Los Angeles Galaxy and Javier Chicharito Hernandez are parting ways after 4 seasons. The 35-year-old joined the Galaxy in 2020. All told, 39 goals, 6 assists across 82 appearances for the club. He hadn't played since June after tearing his ACL. He leaves MLS a 2-time All-Star and a 2-time winner of the LA Galaxy Player of the Year award. Chicharito's time in Major League Soccer is over and out. Joining us now for more, our good friend and colleague Alejandro Moreno, and somebody who I frequently now play pickup games with in his backyard at the Morenumental, which of course,
Morenumental.
Yes, folks should know I gave it the name. Okay, it was from this creative mind that the Morenumental was sprung. Ale, great to have you with us here, man. Let's talk about Chicharito as we look back now on his 4 seasons. Wow, it feels like he just got here. His 4 seasons with the LA Galaxy. How do we look back on his time in MLS?
Well, before we get into that, have you told the people about your performance at the Morenumental? Have we had this conversation?
Mm-hmm. I'm a hard-working player. Okay? Right. Not a lot of frills in this game. And yeah,
and you bring the refreshments.
I bring the refreshments. That's
Exactly.
right. I bring the vibes. Ale knows.
I see. And I don't know what has happened and as to why I get the opportunity to participate today in Fútbol Americas, but this is, I think, officially the first time that I'm in Fútbol Americas in which both of you are actually here. It's not like I'm taking the place of Hercules or taking the place of Seb. Both of them are here, and I actually got an invite. Oh, what an honor. What an evening. What an opportunity for me.
I know. You know, we've been trying to do this for a while, Ale, but what we've been told by the production here is it's too much star power for one television screen to have all 3 of us here at once. Speaking of star power, and perhaps star power that didn't deliver, Javier Chicharito Hernandez. Ale, at the end of the day, what do we make of his time in LA?
Underwhelming, I think. And I don't know so much about his performances as it is the LA Galaxy as a whole, and it just coincided that his time with the LA Galaxy was also around the same time in which LAFC simply has taken over LA. Now, you guys tend to go to LA a whole lot more often than I do. Hercules lives there, but there was a time in Major League Soccer not too long ago in which the LA Galaxy were the premier franchise in MLS, in Major League Soccer. That every franchise sort of wanted to model themselves after the LA Galaxy, and that indeed they were sort of the model of success in Major League Soccer. And that has turned, and it has turned quickly, to the point to where, as compared to LAFC, the LA Galaxy is a secondary thought right now in Major League Soccer. And the story of a successful franchise in MLS, in LA, is LAFC, not so much the LA Galaxy. Now, circling back to Chicharito, which is indeed your question, he's right smack in the middle of all of that, fairly or unfairly. But to be honest, he's not even the most exciting Mexican player right now in the city of Los Angeles. That still is Carlos Vela whenever he's fit, whenever he's ready to play, whenever he actually is available to play. Still, I think, a far more popular or at least relevant player in Major League Soccer because of his productivity and what he means to his club and what his club is doing as compared to whatever Chicharito Hernandez was able to do or not able to do with the LA Galaxy. You missed the playoffs 3 out of the 4 years that you're there, and that's the time that Chicharito has been with the LA Galaxy. You cannot look at this as a successful experience for anybody.
Yeah, can't call it a success, Herc. Is failure too harsh?
It would be a little too harsh, and I'm glad that Ali brought up the LA Galaxy and what they were and the model franchise that they were.
Back when you guys used to play for them.
Very much so. Now, between 1996, the league's inception, and 2014, the LA Galaxy had made 9 MLS Cup finals. 9 MLS Cup finals. Since, they've not made a final. In fact, they've only won 3 playoff rounds. We can sit here and talk about the incomplete performance, because I want to say it's incomplete from Javier Hernandez, because if you look at a DP, and Ali, you know this league, Seb, you know this league, when you pick a DP, you have to knock it out the park. And most importantly, they have to play. That's the investment you make in these Ps. They have to play. he didn't play.
Yeah.
For 2 seasons, he was healthy enough to play, and they were productive seasons. If you see the numbers, he had 83 games, 39 goals. He had a season in 2021 where he scored 17 goals. He had a season in 2022 where he scored 18 goals. The first season, 2 goals. This last season, 1 goal. So what I'm trying to tell you is when he's been fit enough, he's been productive. But
this year when he was fit, he wasn't really productive.
Well, hold on, it was 9 games. Relax. But when you couple him not being fit enough or being able to be on the field because of injury, plus the disaster that is the LA Galaxy since Chris Klein took the team over and what they are today, and Ale is right. They're a shadow of what they once were, a great organization. And what's worse, Ali highlighted this, is the rise of LAFC. That is the worst part of this all for the Galaxy. But when we're looking at Javier Hernandez as a whole and what encompasses a successful DP in the LA market, it was incomplete.
Boy, incomplete's too soft for me. I think it's a flop. It's a failure. There was so much hype, Herc, you remember, around this guy. This was a player that MLS was chasing for years and years, was the white whale, was the guy who was finally going to get the Mexican-American fan to buy into this league. And I think the point you guys are hammering here is the best way to measure the success that wasn't had. Because on-field success, you can give him the asterisk of injury. But when you sign a DP in Major League Soccer, you're also looking for off-field success. And the fact that the LA Galaxy are less relevant, nationally or internationally than when he signed, but even so in their own city, that to me means that he didn't have the off-field impact that a lot of people thought he would have. And the on-field you can't control because you don't know when a guy's going to get hurt or not. But for Chicharito to come to the LA Galaxy and for them to be less relevant than they were before he arrived, that's a huge letdown.
You think that's on Chicharito?
Listen, the LA Galaxy missing, as Ale said, playoffs 3 of the last 4 years doesn't help. But he was the star. He was the guy that should have taken the LA Galaxy. Who's
a bigger star, Zlatan or Chicharito?
Oh, Zlatan, no doubt.
What effect did Zlatan have on this market in the attendance?
Well, Zlatan got to a playoffs, won a playoff round.
This off-the-field bump that you're expecting from Chicharito.
2 years versus 4, bit different, isn't it?
But you're talking off the field. So what I'm trying to gather here is it's why, the root of the problem is much bigger than the DP itself, than Zlatan himself, than Chicharito itself. It's the LA Galaxy as a whole.
So you think Chicharito would have been successful much more in a different place? You think he would have lit the league up?
Well, he proved to be a very productive player. I'm trying to tell you that Los Angeles, and Ali's played in this city before, and he's seen other sports teams in this city. They love a winner, and they only love a winner. So they will back you when you win. Doesn't mean they're fair weather, but that's what they want. They want their LA teams to win. Javier was on a team that wasn't very good, on a team that didn't win, on a team that wasn't productive or conducive to his style, and at the end of the day, wasn't available because he was injury-prone.
Ale, I don't know if you remember, back in the day, we used to record some segments for the ESPN FC YouTube channel. We used to do this bracket breakdown where we would do the biggest busts in MLS history. I mean, we were talking names like Danielson, Lothar Mateos. I think Giovanni Dos Santos was in that bracket at some point. Rafa Marquez was in that. Who do you think's right here? You going with Herc? You going with me? Is Chicharito in that all-time bust, or is that too much here?
I think that's too much. But what I would say, first of all, and just to get this out of the way, let's not ever, please, let's not ever put Chicharito and Zlatan in any categories that are somewhat similar to each other. Zlatan is an old-timer. Chicharito is an old-time Mexican player, but not an old-timer in terms of the world picture, in terms of the global picture. And as accomplished as he has been with his national team, and as accomplished as he has been with his career, he is nowhere near Zlatan Ibrahimovic. And Zlatan Ibrahimovic, if the LA Galaxy were last, and I mean dead last, well behind everybody else, and Zlatan is playing, it's still interesting to go watch them play because Zlatan transcends. Chicharito was never gonna do that. So if that was the expectation, it was an unrealistic one, because Chicharito Hernandez transcends with the Mexican fan, but it doesn't transcend with the global audience. It does not. This is the assumption that they made with Chivas USA back in the day, that Chivas USA was going to make a connection with the Mexican fan and the Mexican American fan, and that's why they were going to fill the stadium. No, we are repeating the same mistake. Zlatan Ibrahimovic is a different level altogether as to what Chicharito was ever able to accomplish in his career. As in terms of what the perception is of Chicharito in regards to what his accomplishment was in Major League Soccer, I don't think it's a total flop, but I do think it was underwhelming. I think there was more to be expected just because of the name, but if you evaluate the player himself, this is a player that over the course of his career, as productive as he has been, he's always needed service. And he wasn't getting that service within the LA Galaxy because for the most part, they were not very good in his time there with the LA Galaxy. And if Chicharito doesn't have service, he's not scoring goals because he's not the kind of player who's going to turn against anybody and dribble 3 players and then score from the top of the 18-yard box, top corner. That's not his game. It's never been his game. It will never be his game. So underwhelming in that there was more to be expected from Chicharito, but I think overall underwhelming from the LA Galaxy in the time that Chicharito was there. Some of it has to do with Chicharito, a lot of it has to do with the LA Galaxy as a whole.
You know why he wasn't getting service? Because he wasn't playing with guys like Ale Moreno and Hercules Gomez. As a veteran of the Moreno Mental, I know Ale can find an assist when he sees one. Never mind his finishing abilities.